Welcome back to another Beeline to Passports. My name is Joe Batista. I'm your host, and tonight we have another special guest. This special guest, she is an actor, and her name is Eeva Stovall. Eva, welcome to Beeline to Passports.
Hi, Joe. Super happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for accepting the invitation. And like every week, we ask our guests how everything started. Tell us about your childhood, your education, where you're original from, and all this great information that the guests want to provide to our audience.
Sounds great. How far back should I go?
Well, we started saying the day that you born. Where you born?
Well, it all started in 1874. No, not that far back. However, I sometimes feel I was born that year, but that is not actually factual. So I was born in Helsinki, Finland. So a
What?
long way from home.
Wow, from Finland.
Yes.
Wait, that is Santa Claus hometown?
That is actually the true country of Santa Claus. Don't believe anybody else. This is where Santa Claus lives, in Lapland, in Finland, in a town called Rovaniemi.
Oh, you heard?
You heard it.
You heard that?
It's true.
I know we have another guest during this season that he said he came on the sled with Santa Claus.
I did have a different means of transportation at the time I got into this country, but I admire that. That must have been quite an adventure for him.
Yes, and trying some gifts. We need to say hi to Mr. Bjorn Backman.
Yes, hi. We Northern European must stick together.
That's right. That's right. All right, you're born in Finland, and do you have anybody in your family in this beautiful industry?
Well, my mom, who is now retired, but she was a pretty big media person. She had her own TV show and radio show back in the day. She was a producer. She did all kinds of things in the media industry. So I kind of grew up watching her do her thing, and I was very sort of very interested in what she was doing. And I remember going to the studios to see her, and it was such a cool world to see. I think that truly did inspire me in my dreams and what I wanted to do myself. But I also grew up in a pretty artistic, creative family in general. We all make music. We play the piano. There was always music around, and I think all of that really influenced me. I have an older sister and a younger brother, so I'm the infamous middle child. What's gonna come of me, and we will not know. But
Yeah, sometimes that called the black sheep.
I am the black sheep. That is it. I'm full of surprises. I will make my own path. That's for sure. Which is probably why I'm an actor, because that's you kind of have to want to make your own path if you want to be an actor. But yeah, I think all of that really influenced me. There was a lot of creativity around me growing up, and the music especially. I started playing classical piano when I was 5, and that went on probably up until I was about 20. That was a very big outlet for me, but a creative outlet. So yeah, that's pretty much like a really short version of where it all began.
Wow. And when you came to the US?
That was 10 years ago. That was also kind of like from a movie. I met an American man in Helsinki in the summer of 2012, and literally packed my bags and moved here, and rest is history, as they say. It was like from a movie, I'm telling you.
Basically, you create your own movie.
That is what it was. I'm like, somebody
Nice.
needs to film this stuff. Like, it doesn't get any better than that.
That's right.
Yeah.
The amazing part is then you are an actor, have some kind of story, yes, start writing. You start writing,
It
and
is
you can
true.
create that as a Hollywood movie.
Yes, it would be the ultimate meet cute, the way my husband and I met. So it's unreal. But it was, about 10 years ago, and when you're madly in love, you just pack your bags and move across the world if that's what it takes. And it's a bold move, I'll say that, just to say goodbye family, goodbye friends, goodbye job, goodbye apartment. But that's what you do. That's what real romance is about.
Well, my wife did the same thing.
That's really cool.
My wife did. She used to live in Jersey,
Oh,
and she packed and she came to Florida.
that's awesome. Hats off. I mean, hats off to true love
Yes,
that
it
makes you
is.
do crazy things.
That's right. That's right. Any children?
We have one son. He is 8 years old.
And any artistic side that you've seen?
He is me on steroids. So I want
Oh
to say,
wow.
yeah, I want to say I'm definitely seeing a performer. It's like when I look at him, he's me, but with an extra dose of confidence that I wish I would have had when I was younger. If I had that amount of confidence when I was younger, I probably would have started acting when I was younger, even though I always wanted to act, but I was shy. And my son has that confidence, and I've also wanted to have that musical side alive in our family as well, like I did growing up. So he's always singing and dancing, and so I'm looking at him like, you will be on Broadway one day. So
That's right. And always is great when you see that, support their talent. You just
yeah,
see they want to do it. Let's help them to, get the training, the correct training, and support them. You never
see them.
know.
You
You never
never
know.
know. Exactly. And it is very lovely to see those sort of characteristics in him as well, because it's been such a gift to have the music and the performing in my family. So it's like, if there's one thing I want to pass on to him, it's that. So I feel really fortunate that I'm seeing those, like that side of him. And I really want to get him into classical piano as well. But he's not like super into it yet, but I think he will be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's always helping to polish that wings and never cut it, because
Yeah.
that will turn a frustration,
Yeah.
and that frustration will get to bad habits or
Hmm.
bad things. When they see, then hey, they have the support, they will get these opportunities, and they will learn a lot from mom. And maybe one of these
Yeah.
films or projects, they in the future you might be acting with him.
Yeah,
You
that
never
would
know.
be so cool. And I also wanted to show him recently that, because when he was born, he already heard me playing the piano, for example. And so he kind of always just saw me as this piano playing person. But about a year ago, I decided to start practicing new classical pieces. And I wanted him to see what the process is like. Nobody just gets up one day and starts playing a piece. I wanted him to see how you start from scratch and you go
Hmm.
one note at a time. And he was sitting there like, how many times do you have to play that same like part of that piece? I'm like, quite a lot of times actually, in order to make it into like a wholesome piece. So it was really important for him to learn the process as well, that nobody just wakes up talented or knowing these skills. It takes so much work to get there.
Yes, yes. And practice makes perfection.
Yes, that is for sure.
That is important. And now your husband, also artistic, any talent, or
Yes.
is a great supporter?
I will say yes to both.
Okay.
He is a photographer. He's a
Okay.
professional photographer, so definitely artistic. He's got the visual side, mastered. I'm not as visual as he is, but he is a very, very talented photographer and also a big supporter. So I don't think you could be in this industry without that kind of support, because this is a brutal industry and you need that support network in order to make it out alive.
Yes, and long, very long, long days.
Long
Because
days.
sometimes you are called for 1 p.m. and
Yeah.
we leave at what, at 1:30 in the morning.
It was so late, and
Yes.
and they need to be flexible, and sometimes something comes up kind of last minute. I'm sure
Yes.
like, oh, we need you here tomorrow, like, and it's sometimes difficult with him having his photography business. I mean, he has similar situations too, like last minute jobs pop up, but you just got to make it work, and some things we
Correct.
have to say no to sometimes because of scheduling issues, but we try to make it work.
That's correct. That's correct. But very interesting. Very interesting. Then they have the art is only in your house, because
Yeah.
you have both sides. The artistic music, the basically actor and also the photographer
Hmm.
in your house, then basically creating the whole package.
That's true. I mean, guess who takes my headshots?
Oh, hey, he charged you, yeah? Like,
I would say it's a perk, you know.
you don't no no like Eva, I need you to cook this special dinner and I will do the headshots.
Exactly. We'll work it out.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
All right, Eva, let's take this first commercial break, and when we come back, we will continue learning more about your story, and we'll be right back with more of Eva Stovall here in Beeline Passports on GKI Radio. We are back. We are back from commercial break. Great music. You're listening GKI Radio. My name is Joe Batista. I'm the host of Beeline to Passports every Monday at 8 p.m. here on GKI Radio. And tonight we have a special guest. This guest, she's an actor, and her name is Eva Stovall. Eva, we met in a TV series that is coming up. The name is Spain Pain.
Spill paint. Yeah.
Spill Pain,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's
Spill
all right.
Pain.
Yeah.
Last week, we had Mr. Sean Roberts. He was also on that TV series. Um, in the show, in the previous season, we have Olivia, also Miss Gina. They were also
Yes, I
on.
remember them. They're awesome. Yeah.
They were all in the same FBI team.
Yes.
That was fun. That was fun because we were sat on a corner and like, okay, you have a beige pants and a white shirt. That mean that you are an FBI. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me three. Okay, we're FBI. And then Eva came and we look at Eva and like, okay, she don't have the beige paint, but beige paint pants, but she have the FBI jacket. Like, oh, she's an FBI.
Yeah.
We were part of the FBI team on the spill paint. Very soon on Tubi TV.
Yes, I'm so excited. I cannot wait.
Yeah, and I saw on the social media already. Then it's coming up on now in November. They're gonna be on Tubi TV. Now, this was early this year when we were working on that. But previous to that, what projects have you worked?
Before spilled paint. Um, Let me think, because I actually started taking acting classes a little over a year ago. So I wanted to better myself and my skills. I did 2 semesters of acting classes. I think I may have even been still actively in class when we shot Spilled Paint.
Okay.
Because that is something I just needed at that point in my life. I needed to challenge myself. I needed, as an actor, like if you have to keep your craft sort of fresh and you have to keep pushing it. Otherwise, you're not sort of going anywhere. So I had this need to just put myself out there in that way. So that was a big accomplishment for me, for sure. And before that, it had been a long time since I had done anything in the industry because I was a stay-at-home mom to my son up until, well, technically he was already in school when I got back into it, but there was a long break.
Yes.
And it's also terrifying to jump back into anything really after a long break. So that was like a challenging time in my life, but the acting classes really pushed me out of my comfort zone, pushed me back into the game. And that was around the time when I landed the FBI agent role in Spilled Paint. And that really made me realize, okay, here we go.
let's let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes,
All right.
yes. So
Basically, with that challenge, you say, okay, Ross out.
yes,
I'm ready to go.
yes.
Okay.
And you can imagine it's not easy after being a full-time parent for, at that time, maybe 7 years. But it was so crucial that I get back in and find my craft again.
Nice, nice. And recent projects then you've been working?
It's as you know, with the strike, the actor strike still going on, it has been kind of weird out there project wise. I'm
Mhm.
sure it's the same for a lot of actors. So I did a couple of students film instead just to keep myself going. I'm gonna I did a couple of really cool auditions just last week that I'm hoping to hear back from soon. So there's a few projects that are still in the works, but I'm really waiting on that strike to come to an end so we can get that full access to all the projects out there.
Yes, that will be most of the paid ones,
Yeah.
but they have also opportunities with the now is Organization of Independent Filmmakers
Yeah.
with the Orlando branch and the Tampa branch.
Okay.
They do short films, and it's
Yes.
kind of a project for producer directors. Then they want to have their skills polished and have these projects around. I've been participating in several of those
That's cool.
as a part, as an actor, also as a part of the crew, BTS, behind the scene,
Yeah.
also as a production assistant, production manager, a script supervisor, because it's very interesting the films. One I was an assistant director
Yeah.
because they do, for example, for now they have a challenge. They do challenges every 3 months, basically 3 months. Now the new challenge they're gonna be kind of a holiday, Christmas, or any holiday, and they're gonna be for February. They're gonna be
Oh.
showing that one. The most recent one that was a couple months ago. The challenge ended in the projection. The film was projected at the Altamont Springs AMC.
That's really cool.
Then there were the award ceremony at the Dr. Philip Performing Arts. That was
Wow.
the first time doing it at the Performing Arts. That was amazing.
That's
Going,
fancy.
yeah,
Yeah.
so fancy.
Yeah.
And there was also a pre and post event of that award ceremony at the Loft right there across, where you mingle with producers, directors. Then they know you
Mm.
and they will look at you for next projects.
Yeah.
That is very, very interesting. And I always said to actors, they want to get involved. That will be a great venue to start getting involved, because not only that, they participate in different challenges and they do productions after production after production, and your credits on the IMDb will continue to grow.
That's amazing.
Is something that is great opportunity right there. Besides this, any other areas then you were like, okay, I've been waiting for these opportunities, but I've been challenging myself. Like, start continue practicing on the piano, and I might be doing something on the side, beside the acting as a musician.
Sure. Yes, that's a yes and yes. I keep going back to music. I've been going back to music my entire life, and I also do some singing. I recently it was the first wedding I got invited to sing in, and it was nerve-wracking. But then after I sang, it was just one song that was requested by the bride and the groom. It was an amazing feeling, and it kind of got me hooked a little bit. And I think the singing part is something I'm going to pursue as well. And I'm also a songwriter in a way. I have hundreds of songs recorded by myself that I just need to find a venue to really like put my material, like I need to put it out there somehow and
Yes.
somewhere. It has been brewing and waiting for the right moment for me to do that. It's just life has been very busy, and I've tried to focus on, certain things, but that is always in the back of my head. And then recently I have also sparked an interest towards screenwriting. I have
Nice.
come up with some storylines, and now I've been sort of writing a draft of this film that I have this idea for. And these are the things I keep myself busy with, especially if acting is like there's a pause of like it's a quite more quiet time, These are the things I fill my time with, and it keeps me still, I'm still creating, and I'm still using kind of those same muscles, keeping myself open,
Yes.
and I don't want to like shut down those channels, because the minute I do that, I feel like it's going to go downhill real fast. So with the music and the writing, the singing, that's something I hope I can turn into something, possibly bigger.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, let's take another short commercial break, and when we come back, we will continue about talking about the music, and this future in the music industry as well. Then you will look in. But let's take this short commercial break, and people, remember. To drop a comment or question if you would like to hear them on the show. The number is 407-476-9059. Remember to say my name, Joe Batista, followed by your name and your comment or question. And you could also hear it here in Beeline to Passports on GKI Radio. We are back. We are back from commercial break. Great music. You're listening GKI Radio. My name is Joe Batista. I'm the host of Beeline to Passports. And tonight we have a special guest. This special guest, she is an actor, and her name is Eeva Stovall. Eeva, you were talking in the previous segment, the music career, then you were looking to do something with that songs, and prepare that songs to put it out there on the different platforms. Also, and like I told during the commercial break, you know, you're very welcome to send when it's ready. Send it to us, then we can put it on the show, also on the station, and then the people can listen your beautiful voice.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And same thing, if you decide you have a photographer at home, but
Mhm.
you do some video, we have the platform here, also in GKI TV. Then if you do your video, you bring it and we place it there because this is a place, the GKI radio, GKI family. We have new talents when they want to expose their projects, then they bring it and we help them to be out there. The people start listening
Hmm.
the music, or if there's movies or videos, they have the platform also for these new talents.
That's really awesome. I'm like, because when you have something to put out there in the world, that's a lot of times the first question, where do I put it? Where do I send it? So it's really lovely that you are providing this platform for a lot of artists.
Yes, yes, and because we know, everybody in the GKI family, we've been in the different sides, musicians, producers, directors, actors, and the whole family involved in the entertainment industry. We know how hard it
Hmm.
is to get out there
Yeah,
and to try to make connections and to have this kind of venue is opening doors for these new talents.
that's amazing. And as we know, as actors, is that this industry, it's got a lot of rejection in it. There's a lot of rejection, a lot of no's to get to that yes. So
Yes.
any kind of avenues that you can find to be able to put your work out there, it is invaluable, really, because that keeps you going.
Correct, correct. And we do, some projects, and we're looking to do some projects as my organization, Celera Media Group, Celera Productions, and the GKI family for producing more films. We produced one last year. We recorded and taped it, and we did everything, and we're looking to do a couple more
That's awesome.
as a production company and also part of the GKI family.
That's really cool. Yeah, and I think, like, even though the music part is something I'm hoping to do in the future, my main focus right now is the acting. Um, but it's like, as when we did the FBI agent role, is that, well, you can't tell it from my voice, but I'm a very tall person too, so that also sort of um, puts me in a certain category for roles. It
Yes.
can be a good thing. It can be a really great thing, but it can also be a slightly limiting thing because, the height brings a certain presence already without me even doing anything. I can just show up and it just brings this certain, I don't know, people keep saying it's like an authority thing, but I'm like, it doesn't, like, for me, I don't feel it that way, but that's what it signals automatically. So when we look for roles and what we are a good fit for, I have to take all of that into account. We all have to know what our essence is and what are those first impressions. So um, I know it's like the roles that I do get in acting, they're going to be great fits for me. But also, then there's a lot like the girl next door. I don't know that I would be the first one to be cast as a girl next door. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's one of those things. I have something unique to bring to the role, but I just have to maybe wait for those right roles just a little bit longer.
And question now, you've mentioned that have
Mhm.
you did modeling because
Hmm.
some well, the old fashion industry, they used to only get tall models.
Hmm.
The minimum there was 5'10", 5'9". That was the minimum.
Yeah.
Now they changed the standards. Now they using also 4.9 and
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah.
11
Yeah.
models. But have you tried also the modeling industry?
That did cross my mind when I was younger. I briefly gave it a try, in my very, very early 20s. But then I guess I wasn't ready for that kind of competitiveness at the time. And I was, at the time living in Finland, and the market is somewhat limited for that stuff. I wanted to really badly at the time to start a modeling career in America because I knew there would be more um, just more opportunities,
Yes.
and at some point to somebody as tall as I am as well, like as I'm definitely on the taller end of even like the models out there. I knew I had to be in a bigger market, but I didn't have an opportunity to move here at the time to really pursue that. And I think I always kept joking that I'm also like such a big like food lover that I was like I could never be a supermodel. I love food too much. I'm not going to be able to maintain such a like a slim figure with the way I like just love food. I basically chose food. I have no regrets. Then I decided
Well, they have a food models.
this is true. Maybe this is the middle road I'm gonna take. But I was also shy in my early 20s. I took my time to get to the point where I'm comfortable with myself, where I can be in front of camera, like, with acting.
Mhm.
I had to build that confidence and get comfortable with myself, get to really know who I am. I think that's a very key thing about being an actor. And if you want to be a good actor, especially, you really truly have to know yourself, even though you are playing other characters. But in order to get there, you have to know who you are. So it is a soul searching mission that that you're on as an actor. So I didn't know how to do all that work in my earlier 20s. So it was only in my 30s that I started mentally being ready for that and embracing that. And it's now I'm ready. There's no shame in starting, later in that,
They're not.
process.
They're
Yeah.
not. And let me tell you. I have a good friend of mine, and he have an academy right now. He just opened the modeling academy in Miami. But his background, his name is Paul Marcel, a great friend of mine. Um, he was the director, beauty pageant director, and for different organizations, but also he was the one in charge of preparing Miss World,
Hmm.
Miss Universe for Mexico for 20 years.
Wow.
And he said, and I always bring it to the show, then models become or do the crossover to become an actor
Hmm.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
Actors do the crossover to become a model.
Yeah.
That they need to understand both because different things. First of all, if they are in a premiere,
Yeah.
they have the red carpet, they need to know how to pose for
Absolutely.
the cameras,
Hmm.
for the interviews, talking to the press.
Hmm.
That is all learned in the model industry and the beauty pageant industry.
Hmm.
How to step down of a car.
Yes.
Then he always bring that in like, wow, for real. Yes, people don't know how to step down of the car.
It is a special skill. It's very hard to do that gracefully.
Yes, and they teach that the manners, all the word, the table etiquette. All this is learned on the model side,
Mm-hmm.
and you learn also how to pose, and they help you with the acting part,
Yeah.
and the vice versa. When you are in front of the camera as an actor, now you know what is your best angle. When they do the interviews, you know how to move and the lights, all these great things around the acting part.
Absolutely. And if you are comfortable with your body and yourself, it helps with acting so much because any of your insecurities are going to picked up in that camera when it's so close to your face, or even if it's like a full body, like you cannot let that insecurity about yourself show. So I think a lot of models learn how to work with their body and learn how to carry themselves well. And I think it is an important skill. And even though I kind of skipped that modeling part in a way, however, a lot of people, because my husband is a photographer, they assume that I was a model and he was a photographer. I would love to go with that story, but that's not how we went.
Well, you can put that twist on the movie that you're gonna
That's
create about
right.
your love story.
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect. Yes.
And the people like, oh, you see, that's the Cinderella story.
It's yeah. So he was shooting a cover for a magazine, and then I was the model for that. And the
Exactly.
sparks were flying.
And she was eating pizza,
Yes.
and they took the shoot
Of course.
because they need to have the food
Of
right
course,
there.
it has to be there, and donuts.
There you go. And she had the coffee in her hand, and they took the picture, and he loved the hands, and they asked for their number, and then 10 years later with a son.
Exactly, 10 years and a child later, here we are.
There you go. There you go. Very fun. Well, hey, that was some tips for the movie.
Exactly. It's so funny. Is the one I'm writing right now is more like the end of the world, like apocalypse story. So this will be a good balance to it, like a romantic, like very romantic movie. I love it.
That's right. That's right. Or a nightmare. You never
Yes, you just never know. We'll have to see how it goes.
know. All right, let's take another short commercial break. And when we come back, we will continue learning more about your story. But people, thank you for giving us the opportunity to be in your dial every week at 8 p.m. on Mondays. And thank you for giving us the opportunity to be in our sixth season. And tonight, learning about Miss Eeva Stovall story here in Beeline to Passports on GKI Radio. We are back. We are back from commercial break. Great music. You're listening GKI Radio. This is your show, Beeline to Passports. My name is Joe Batista. I'm your host. And tonight we have the special guest, Miss Eeva Stovall. She is an actor, also musician.
Yeah.
Eeva, um, we've been talking about the career, family, the music. Tell us about your social media and also your IMDb that the people start following you.
Sure. So on Instagram, I have my official account where I post my acting adventures. It is called Eeva Stovall Official. Also, the spelling is tricky because it's Eeva. It is not a typo. It is how it is spelled. It looks like I fell asleep on the E when I was writing my name, but no, it truly is. Us Finns like our double vowels, so it is. That is my Instagram, and you can also find me under that same name on Internet Movie Database, where you just type in my name and boom,
The IMDb right
you
there.
got it.
Right there. Very, very good. Very good. And very soon you will see in Tubi TV the spill paint, and you're gonna see Miss Stovall. When we were saying about the 1 a.m., 1 p.m. to 1 a.m., that was the
Yes.
story of one day that we were shooting,
Yes.
and we get there at 1 p.m., but that was the time to the wrap or call out, or that was one about 1:30 a.m.
It was a long one.
But for Miss Stovall, she was 2 days on the road because the day before that they were looking for some FBI agents. She accepted the challenge and she went the night before and she did some part there. And it was until 12:30 in the morning.
Something like that. Also very late one.
But we're saying this because the industry, we as an actors, when we go there, and people out there they want to become an actor or being part of the entertainment industry, um, it's a challenge. Not only because the hours, because sometimes you spend 12 hours on a set.
Mm.
Sometimes that's the minimum.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more, 16. But the part is then you need to prepare in three areas: mentally,
Hmm.
physical, and also emotional.
Yeah.
Because she said before on the previous segment, sometimes you can have a lot of rejection.
Hmm.
And if the person emotionally is not great, unfortunately, you're gonna feel, sad. They're gonna feel bad because they don't receive calls.
Hmm.
Same thing with the mentally.
Yeah.
You need to prepare yourself on being in a challenge because this is a games.
Hmm.
It's a game because it's not that you're gonna receive. You do the audition and right away you're gonna receive the call. You probably do 10 auditions in a day,
Yeah.
and you might receive one call.
Exactly. That's about what the numbers are.
Exactly.
It's brutal. Yeah.
And sometimes you do 20 or 30 in a week, and you might receive two. And from that two, they probably two non-pay
Hmm.
opportunities. Then they are great
Hmm.
because you're building your career, your acting resume. You're building that, and you need to use that as a practice.
Hmm.
The challenge is then you need to practice. Basically, is doing this day by day and several times during the day. And physically, because 12 hours
Hmm.
there, you get tired,
Yeah.
um, it's lack of sleep.
Hmm.
The food, sometimes they are great in
Yeah.
some sets, sometimes not that good.
Yeah.
Then you need to also balance that with your life
Yeah.
because unfortunately, if you're not ready for that, unfortunately, that can affect.
Yeah.
For example, another person, there was on spill paint, and he was in this show. He said he used to eat a lot of pizza.
Hmm.
He stopped eating the pizza because there were his Instagram is pizza game.
Oh,
Imagine
yeah. Yeah.
if there was to get some muscles.
Yes.
Imagine if we're eating all this,
Hmm.
we can lose a lot of opportunities because
Hmm.
this, unfortunately, this is an image game
Hmm.
as well.
Sure is.
Then you need to prepare on all these three areas at all the time and
Sure.
get ready for the next project
Yeah.
and polish the skills
Exactly. All at the same time.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Polish the skills, getting new, polish your craft, getting some new, basically skills.
Yeah.
If you never shoot, take some shooting classes.
Exactly.
Motorcycle, if
Mm.
you if we are able to do or have some motorcycle classes, horseback riding,
Yeah.
because you never know if your character need to have that.
Yeah, I had that horseback riding once. Like I got really close to getting the part, but they needed horseback riding and it was specific Western style. I'm like, I don't even know how to ride a horse any style. So, I would say that was a problem. So I'm sure they found someone with more horseback riding skills, but it sucked because I was like, man, if only I knew how to ride a horse. It can sometimes come down to little things like that.
Yes. And that is the part that you need to prepare ahead.
Absolutely. And then in between, projects, that's what actors probably should be and are doing. They're learning new skills so they can check those boxes, in their actress access profile. Like I can do this and that and this and that,
Yes.
and then be more versatile in that way. Yeah, I totally agree. There's a lot going on if you want to be an actor, and it takes a lot from you.
Yes, and Denzel Washington, one of my favorite actors, he said that. He said, in between every project, I learn a new skill.
Yeah,
No,
that's incredible. Yeah, that's very smart.
and is a famous actor, and
Mhm.
he continued learning new skills.
Right. He hasn't settled where he is, even though he already has achieved that certain level of success, but he's not stopping. He's still bettering himself and improving himself. That's what I really admire that about a lot of actors. They don't stop. They keep improving.
That's correct. That's correct. All right. Thank you, Eva, for accepting the invitation, being on the show. Your final thoughts.
My final thoughts. Well, first of all, I'm very grateful you invited me here. It's been very lovely taking part of your podcast and brainstorming together. And as far as acting goes, I truly feel like the best is still to come. I feel it. I feel it. I just need to keep at it and be patient, keep working hard, keep my head up during those rejections, and celebrate the victories and keep going. I'm very excited about the future. And yeah, if anybody's interested in seeing where my acting takes me, find me on Instagram.
That's right. Then she have a very interesting reel right there. Follow me on an audition. I believe that's the title that you put. That you basically from home, you took your cell phone,
Oh,
get into your
yes.
car, go
Yeah.
to get some coffee, and get to audition.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
Oh, I love that you love that. I had that thought one day. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do one of these. Like, this is what it looks like to go to an audition, because I go film them at my acting studios a lot of times. So it's a whole process. And I'm so glad you loved it. So it's going to be stuff like that. If you want to see what it looks like to be an actor in my shoes, I will try to post more material like that.
That's great. That's great. Well, yeah, thank you again, Eva, for accepting the invitation. And like always, we said on the industry, break a leg. Have all these great projects that are coming your way. And we will continue following your story and following your career. And people, thank you for being with us in another Beeline to Passports. And remember, be a leader, rock the world, inspires others with your emotions in control. Good night.